Hey, all. Ron here from Military Images Magazine with a new episode of Life on the Civil War Research Trail. Today is Memorial Day, and in just a little while, I'll be heading over to Arlington National Cemetery to pay my respects, something I do every year. I live in Arlington. I've been here for many years. My home is here. My family is here. The offices of Military Images Magazine are here. And so the cemetery is not too far away. Can be there in 10 minutes or so. But I also want to remember one individual that is representative of the many soldiers and sailors that I've researched over the years who lost their lives in battle. I got to tell you, it's difficult. It's almost impossible, actually, to pick one to be a representative person to think about on Memorial Day, because the truth is, I think about them all. But for purposes of this video and sort of preparing myself to go over to the cemetery in Arlington, I want to sort of get my head around and focus on one individual so I can think about, sort of get in the right frame of mind to go over and to pay my respects. So the story that I want to share with you today is the individual pictured here. He's Benjamin B. Hart, served in the 24th New York Infantry. And one thing that makes this story and his service memorable to me is because there was a moment in time, in fact, it's a moment behind the photograph that you see here that occurred about 1.25 miles from where I live on Upton's Hill. And for those of you who are students of the Civil War and the defenses of Washington, D.C., you know that Upton's Hill and Munson's Hill, which are 1.25 miles this way and about 1.25 miles that way, I'm right in between the two hills, were pretty important places early in the war for both sides as the Union was struggling to identify a perimeter and establish a perimeter around the capital city. And as Virginia in post-secession Confederacy was looking at protecting its land, at defending its land. And so this area all around me, all around my neighbors, was a sort of a training ground of sorts. And Hart and the 24th Infantry were part of all of this. And so Hart apparently became rather proficient as a scout. And take a look at him here. He is wearing his New York State jacket. You can see with the cloth epaulets up top. He has his State of New York oval waist belt buckle, and he's holding a pair of binoculars, or spy glasses, as they would call them back in the day. He's got it's like a brand spanking new revolver. He's got some knee-high boots. It doesn't exactly look like your average private, and he wasn't. He wasn't your average enlisted man, although he was a humble guy. And I want to read you this newspaper article that's deadlined Upton's Hill, which gives you the backstory of why he's posed with the spyglass and with the revolver. So here we go. It says, quote, Mr. B.B. Hart, it's Benjamin B. Hart, a private in Captain Taylor's company, 24th Oswego Regiment. The Oswego Regiment is how the 24th New York mustered in, before they mustered into service, when they were being formed, they were organized as the Oswego Regiment. Anyway, now on the Potomac, has won by his daring and valuable services a handsome compliment from his regiment. At dress parade a few evenings since, the regiment was formed in Hollow Square, and Private Hart was called forward. The major then complimented him upon his soldierly bearing and courageous adventures, and in the name of the regiment, and as a testimonial of their appreciation, presented him with a revolver of superior workmanship, a spyglass, a pocket compass, and a set of the most accurate maps of the region and state of Virginia. Speeches were made by Captains Taylor Jennings, Barnum, Beardsley, and others. This, we believe, is the first instance in which a private has won such complimentary notice from his regiment. So Hart, Private Hart, distinguished himself as a scout. This would have been in 1861 and 1862 in Northern Virginia. I don't have any additional information about his exploits, and I've searched high and low. This article, simply datelined Upton's Hill, is the only information that I could find that alludes to his service in this capacity on what apparently was detached duty as a scout. So, by the way, the photograph is imprinted with the photographer's back mark, and it's from Upton's Hill. So he actually posed for this photograph in a gallery on Upton's Hill, where he received the honor from the regiment while they were on parade. So that's an interesting part of the story. He was being singled out and earned all this kudos and praise. The downside of all this is that he didn't enjoy it for long. On late August of 1862, probably a matter of months after he received the revolver, the spyglass, the compass, and the maps, the regiment went into battle at Bull Run, second Bull Run, and Hart suffered a severe wound in his right leg that ended in an amputation, also ended in his discharge in his war service. He goes home to New York, where he succumbs to his injury in November of 1862. He was 33 years old. So his remains are buried in New York. And if you go to find a grave, you'll find this photograph of his monument. And it's in the Mount Pleasant Northside Cemetery in Volney, which is in Oswego County of New York. So as I'm preparing to go to Arlington and thinking about soldiers and sailors I've researched, here's one that I want to share with you. He's Private Hart of the 24th New York, an enlisted man and an honored scout. So salute to Private Hart. Wishing you all, however you commemorate Memorial Day or Decoration Day, as it was originally known, I wish you well. Take care.